everybody, welcome to the channel. Today is May 19th, 2025. And the time is about, almost 10 minutes to 6 p.m. Collective energy, please, Spirit. Collective energy. What storyline would you like to share with the collective, please? Storyline for the collective, please, Spirit. All right, let's tap right in. In the central energy, what do we got in the central energy, please, Spirit? Well, we've got somebody's disconnected here. Reevaluating their circumstance or situation. In the challenge position. In the challenge position, please, Spirit. We've got celebration. So they're challenged by celebrating. They're challenged by a community, by your happiness. Somebody's challenged by your happiness. And we've got Two of Pentacles. So they got decisions to make. They got to balance something. In the recent past, yeah, Seven of Swords. So trickery, trying to get away with something tricky. Betrayal. Hopes and fears. Hopes and fears, please, Spirit. Hopes and fears. Well, we've got the Two of Cups in the reverse. So there's disharmony. There's no love there. There could be breaking up with somebody. Maybe they're not having an opportunity for a union. In the near future, boy, if you want to get up here, you're going to have to come over there on the other side and use your step. Woohoo! In the near future, well, we've got Two of Swords. So there's difficult decisions to be made. Somebody's avoiding something. Lens that's being looked through. Yeah. Got the Moon. So there's some illusion. Something's being hidden. Something is hidden. Somebody's having fear and anxiety in the environment. In the environment, we've got teamwork. Hopes and fears. We've got diligence, Eight of Pentacles, so skill development, passion, and in the outcome, whoa, that kind of flew right on up. In the outcome, we have the Star. Revitalization, we've got shining a light, we got a bright, bright light shining here in the outcome. And then we've got the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Wands. So the working parent, determined for life, full of fire, and excitement and freedom here. Page, limitless potential. Passion, and new beginning with the Fool. Okay. I'm gonna skip that deck today. I'll use some of these. I wonder what'll happen if we pull out this other deck, this other tarot deck, and see if anything matches. Let's try it. Collective energy, please, Spirit. Three of Wands. Disconnected from moving forward. They're reevaluating. There could be preparations, some sort of enterprise. Challenge position is we've got the Three of Cups. There's a celebration regarding Nine of Pentacles. Somebody's celebrating contentment, coming into a life of luxury. Two of Pentacles, balancing their decisions, figuring out what do they need to do. What the heck? Somebody's been disconnected from moving forward. We got the Ace of Pentacles. So there's multiple priorities and a new career here. So you're working, you got multiple priorities, your time management, managing those multiple priorities here. Celebration and happiness. Somebody's disconnected from moving forward here. Disconnected from this opportunity. Or they're not liking what they're getting. There is trickery in the recent past, betrayal. And Knight of Wands, unpredictable, sexy. So there could have been some kind of a passionate love affair, betrayal. And we've got, so there's a breakup. So there's a breakup here, disharmony, fighting about it. Yeah, betrayal, infidelity, not moving forward. And we've got Nine of Cups. Wish come true. So we've got a broken communication. We've got disharmony, a breakup. Somebody's being disconnected from the wish come true, from true contentment. Nine of Cups. Nine of Pentacles. So yeah, so there's disharmony. They wanted to bring disharmony to somebody's wish come true, to somebody's emotional stability. Trickery, passionate infidelity. So there's a breakup. They're getting kicked out of somebody's wish come true. They're Nine of Pentacles. They're losing it. We've got the Two of Swords there. In the Two of Swords, there's a deadlock. Okay, come here now. Loss, grief, disappointment, regret, failure. So yeah, you got your guard up. So somebody's got their guard up, and it's like this person's disappointed. They're in grief about it. It's like, wait, come back. I want that Nine of Cups. I want that Nine of Pentacles. But they betrayed the union with infidelity. So we've got the Moon card. There is fear and anxiety, something hidden. Yeah, they're in fear. They could be fighting. There could be a conflict that they're having to deal with. We've got the teamwork here, collaborating together in the environment. Oh, struggling, pride. They have no strength. So whoever's working here in the environment, they don't have any strength. They're hoping for a skill development, or they're afraid, they're in fear over your skill development, over your mastery. They said a while back that you have the mind of an apprentice. Yeah, so they're having a fear and anxiety about fighting. This group of people are out of strength, low energy. They're afraid because you have mastered yourself, developed new skills. Temperance angel. You've got your freaking skills developed. You've balanced yourself out, and you're the star. You're just out here blinging. They're out of strength. They can't work against you, and you're shining the light on everything, star. With the Hermit here. Judgment. Queen of Swords calling judgment on a circumstance, on a situation. Holy moly. And again, excitement and freedom. Excitement and freedom. Coming into the rewards for the fruits of your labor. Persevering. You persevered. You persevered. Somebody's trying to defend their beliefs about what they did in the past, but you know the truth of it. You know the truth of it. And there's a celebration here for the community, and they're here with the Empress, with the Divine Feminine. So there's a celebration for the Divine Feminine. She's very, very passionate here. Yeah, and whoever Loverboy is getting let go. Why? Because you're the star, and again, you're letting go of this person here, disconnecting from that person up there because of the trickery. Again, you're leaving it behind. Divorce. Queen of Wands, divorcing it. Wow, you got the Queen of Wands, King of Cups, and King of Swords out here working together. Somebody is in a freaking nightmare over you having this money. Queen and King of Pentacles. Well, look at that. And the King of Wands. All of them are here being generous with this inheritance, and that's the turn of the wheel, or that's the World card. It's a completion. A completion. Your high standards and your high work is bringing a tower to somebody. They're gaining a sudden insight regarding this Four of Wands. Look, freedom again in marriage. You're taking off soon. You're leaving. I keep hoping, you know, and sometimes I get you know, I get bummed out because it's not happening like right now. What are you doing, baby? Toby's here saying hello, but you can't see him. You can't see my boy, but he's here. He wants to get in the lap area. Hey, baby. Collective energy, please, Spirit. Collective energy. The lighting isn't real good in here, guys. Sorry about that. Alrighty then. Boy, what are you doing, huh? You gotta sit down there, honey. Okay. So somebody's disconnected. They're reevaluating. They're disconnected from moving forward. Disconnected from you. You're moving forward. They're in regret. They wish it had never happened. They're challenged because you're celebrating here with the Three of Cups. You got friends that are collaborating with you about, and you got this Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles and Nine of Cups, and they're 86 out of it. Because they were being tricky and passionate and bebopping around with whomever else. We got mistakes. They made mistakes. You're celebrating here with the community. You've got your Nine of Pentacles, the fruits of your labor, the reward for your labor. And they made mistakes. They wish that it had never happened. They really want to take part in this. They were fighting you for your Nine of Pentacles, Nine of Cups, and they lost. And you're out of there. You're like, I'm out of here, man. So you got the Two of Pentacles here, right? Balancing decisions with the Ace of Pentacles. So you are... got a new job? You got a new job. Oh, and they're thinking about the shadow side. It could be that they were trying to bring balance to whatever, trying to get this Ace of Pentacles for the shadows. Or maybe they're like, you made me realize my flaws. We got the Seven of Swords here. They betrayed you with the Knight of Wands, with passion energy. So they were betraying. That's the truth. They left you alone. They were out there bebopping around, and the truth is revealed. They left you alone. They betrayed you and abandoned you. Probably lied about it too. So there's a divorce, or there's a separation, and from your Nine of Cups. You're not giving them any more of your love. It's like, you don't get any more of this love here. You could have loved, and look, the chaser doesn't want to chase anymore. They got separated out of your stuff. They don't get it anymore. They could be wanting to chase. Maybe they don't want to chase around with the other ones anymore. Maybe now they want to be faithful. They like, wait, give me a second chance. I don't want to be a whole bag anymore. But that's a lie, because that's their habitual pattern of getting money. Gigolo. Jezebel. They sleep with people that have something coming, and then they take it and continue sleeping around and getting the next paycheck. That's how they do it. So we've got the Two of Swords here, weighing options. They're in regret, again, regret, disappointed. They're suffering this loss. There's an understanding of your side of the story. There's an understanding. You understand what they were doing. You're like, I know what you're up to. We got fear. Maybe they understand what's going on. You got fear and anxiety here regarding competition. A Five of Wands. Unappreciated. So they didn't care about you. They didn't care about the beauty that you brought. They wanted to fight you. They wanted to hurt you. This group of people here in the environment, they're in strength reversed. So they have no energy, and they're holding back, being held back. You're holding back. They're in fear because of your skill development regarding temperance energy, regarding your balance. They're thinking you should understand how they feel. You're the Star here, and you're shining a light on everything with the Hermit card. You're like, you're just out there blinging, bling, bling, bling. You're shining a light on those who thought it was funny to hurt you, to go F around and steal money and wealth from people. Soul contract. So we got a third party who's confused about a soul contract. Maybe you have a new soul contract and this third party is in confusion. They want to talk, but they're unworthy of even talking to you. It's like, you don't want to even talk to them. Unfinished business. This passionate person was daydreaming of being you, a doppelganger. Why? For money. For money. There's gossip about their responsibilities, these prideful people. They were targeting family, men and women with children, being a Jezebel, and now they want forgiveness here. And I saw, look, guilty of secrets. They were lying on you, pretending to be you, lying on you, and now they're getting detached and they're feeling your absence. Why? Because the way you love can never be matched. It's irreplaceable. And now they're suffering the damages from the pain they've caused. They want to escape. They're feeling broken and shattered. They've got a whole bunch of reciprocity coming their way, and they don't know what to do because you've got this soul tie. They're like, oh, what do we do now? Because you've got this, you're committed in a new soul tie. Or maybe they committed to some kind of soul tie. You got this new soul contract. Maybe they wrote a contract. They're like, wait. Everybody's getting what they deserve. You wanted love, and they didn't. They wanted to be a hoe bag, and they wanted your pocketbook. They're like, wait, I'm just with you for the money, darling. Give me your cash. When I was, how old was I? 17. I was working, and I had my first abuser came to my place on payday. And he wanted my money. I just cashed my check. He wanted my money. And I said no. So he took me by the throat and lifted me up off the floor and slammed me against the wall. And while I was hanging there off the wall, he grabbed my purse and took my wallet out and took my money. It was weird, man. It's like, this is what this people are. They're just there for your freaking paycheck. Look, tempted by the snake. They were tempted. They wish that they could right their wrongs, but it's too late. It is what it is. So they're disconnected from moving forward with you. They're in regret. They were tempted by the snake. They took bad advice. They thought it was a great idea to try to F their way into your bank account, and you survived the shadow side that they tried to stick you in. They made mistakes. They wish they could right their wrongs, but it's too late. You know, the sad thing about this is that these entities or these energies were doing this for centuries. It was a generational practice. Empty vessel. Their cup is empty. They don't have anything. I saw somebody walking along the freeway on the way home, this younger fellow, and he just looked lost, man. He was wearing like slip-on sandals. And I thought about these people getting homeless and stuff. Like, I don't know what's going to happen, you know. But we got the Two of Pentacles, so they're trying to balance things out. You got your Ace of Pentacles, your abundance. They need money. They owe the shadows. They're stuck in the shadows. They got to balance their decisions. They're like, how do I get money? I need this money. Tired and tired. They're tired. Shadows. They could be tired of the shadows. They could be tired of that. It didn't work out. They want to try a new game plan. But they were betraying you, trying to get away with something tricky. They were very cruel and brutal about it. They didn't care about shattering your heart, breaking your soul, feeding it to the shadows. They're in confinement. The truth is revealed. They left you alone. They replaced you with somebody. They were left you alone. They came in and they wanted your Nine of Pentacles, your Nine of Cups, and now they're disappointed because they're separated from you. Playing games with love. They left you alone and they went out and sexed up the whole freaking world, and now they're cut off. They're cut off from your Nine of Cups. They're cut off from your wish come true. They cannot talk to you anymore. They might want to be chasing after you. They might want to be chasing after you. They don't have any strength. They can't fight it. They can't fight it. Two of Swords, deadlock, avoidance. You're avoiding them and they're in regret, disappointment. They've lost and they're in grief over it. You understand their side of the story. You know what they were doing. They broke all their promises. They didn't keep any of their promises. They were just playing games with love. And you understand that. So now they're in fear over this conflict. They didn't appreciate the beauty that you offered. They didn't care at all about you or what you were bringing. And now there's distant. Now you're distant emotionally, physically. You don't want anything to do with these people. Or this person. They didn't appreciate you. Take it as it resonates. People, persons, micro, macro. I like to think of it as a macro because many of us have had the same experiences. So you've got a group of people here that are working together, trying to build something, but they don't have any strength. They don't have the strength for it, and there's holding back. They should have expressed themselves better. They're having doubt. They're struggling with their pride. Grieving. It didn't work out the way they had imagined. They're in fear or they're afraid because you've developed some skills. You've worked very diligently to bring balance to your internal self, to yourself, to your body, to your emotions, to your mental, to your house of flesh, a house of wood, to your community, to your environment, whatever that is. And they're in disagreement. They think you should understand how they feel, but they never, ever, ever understood how you felt. They didn't even care. The more pain they gave you, the happier they were. The more times that they could betray you, your trust, your most intimate, sacred essence, which is the intimate sexual nature. They'd come in, tap in, and then leave you alone, and then go out and do other people. And you brought balance to yourself, and now you had to cut them out. You had to cut them out. You don't want anything to do with them. You're holding back, and they're grieving. They're like, I don't want anything to do with you. Now they're upset because you've got a nine of Pentacles and a freaking Nine of Cups. Exit plan. They can't use you for an exit plan. They're in disagreement. They think you should understand how they feel. They can't not use you as an exit plan. You're like, look, I've got balance. They want to, look, you're just another notch on the headboard for them, and you know it. You have an understanding of it. They break all their promises. They play games at love. So you're the star. You're shining a light on the hermit, with the hermit here, on those who are reminiscing. You're reminiscing about how funny they thought it was to hurt you. Maybe they're reminiscing about how funny it was. Look, you have nothing to struggle here. You're not struggling with this. You know what was going on. You're not even going to help them. You're not helping them because you know. It's best to stand alone. It says struggle. If it's not a team effort, it's best to stand alone. You're like, I'm not going to do this. I'm standing on my own. Because why? Because you went out there with whomever, however many of them, and you said, well, this is fun. Let's do it. And you're just not going to do it anymore. So everything you no longer need is falling away to make room for the love that you deserve. You're not going to struggle with these third-party enemies anymore. These people who just look at you as another notch in the headboard. Boy, they didn't see that coming. They didn't see that coming. They left you alone. And they left you alone, and life was real hard for you. You were neglected and burned. They tried to destroy your trust. Look. You're leaving. You've taken it as far as you can go. You're leaving. And everything they built on your energy, on your love, is crumbling into pieces. And now they want forgiveness. Once again, they want to use your love as an escape. But you're like, look, man, nope. Things are real hard for them. And now they're going to have to they're drowning under all these secrets. All these secrets are coming out. Everybody's hearing the truth, and now they're drowning under all of that, and they're having anxiety because people can see that they're a weed seed who stuck you in a freaking rabbit hole, crushed you emotionally. Now they're reaching out, trying to reconnect, and you're like, look, I don't want to have anything to do with you. This is over. Over, man. Your needs were not met. They were guilty of cheating. And ignored you, didn't meet any of your needs. Nope. You know what? It's like every flame that they got tangled up, see, long way to go in this entanglement. It's like every flame that they did this to, they have to go now have it done to them. They got to face the truth. They've lost this. And they're childish, stuck in the dark side. Just the way it is, man. Fortunately, you know, you have the desire to love and to be loved, and you know that it's not there. These ones play games with love. They break their promises. They come in. They use people for sex. They tap in sexually because it requires a relationship in order to get connected to your celestial ship and your spiritual inheritance. But this is all ending soon. There's a big separation. Y'all are leaving somewhere. I don't know. There's like a timeline distribution. I'm hoping so. I don't know. I keep expecting I'm going to wake up in another land far, far away. A tribe of people tempted by the snake, disconnected from moving forward. You're not working with them anymore. You're not working with them. They're challenged because you've got a community here that's in celebration. They made mistakes. They wish they could right their wrongs. They're disconnected from the fruits of your labor. Their cup is empty. Greed. The greedy one's cup is empty. And now they're like, wait, love, love, love. And it's like, there's no love in them. There's no love in them. They were tapping into you for your energy star, tapping into you for your 9 of Pentacles and your 9 of Cups. And now you've disconnected and they can't get it back. They're tired now because what? They made contracts. They got soul ties with the shadow side, with the dark side. They bound themselves to it. We got career. Yeah, they bound themselves to it. It was their life work. And they could be positive with something. They might have gotten a positive test. The envious ones sabotage themselves, bragging. So they've said it. They were like bragging about it. So there's a history of their glory days. This reminiscing and laughing about it. They betrayed you. They were trying to get away with something. They were sexing you up and then leaving you alone. Playing games with love. Not meeting your needs. Very negative. Hiding their true intentions. They didn't really care about you. So you left them. They don't have any access to you anymore. It's over. They cannot access your Nine of Cups. They don't have any courage or strength. They can't even fight it. The chaser doesn't want to chase anymore. Something's going on. They sabotage themselves. They deliberately were working to undermine your efforts, and they wound up sabotaging their own darn self. Because you've got the Two of Swords here. They're at a crossroads. They're in a deadlock. They don't know what to do. They're in regret. They have failed to steal your Nine of Cups and your Nine of Pentacles. They've lost. They're in grief. You understand who and what it is they're doing. They broke every single promise that they ever made. They broke your heart, but they could not break your spirit. They could not break your spirit. Now they want to apologize for what they did, but that's only because they've lost. And they want to get back into your good graces, but they're still an untrustworthy hoebag who F's their way into people's bank accounts. And they laugh, thinking it's real funny. Look, all I had to do was have sex, and I like that. You know, whatever. They don't know what to do now. They're in fear here, or anxiety, with the Moon card about this competition, about this fight. They could be fighting other people. They didn't appreciate the beauty you brought, and you have made yourself distant. Perhaps you are distant. Perhaps these people are on a different timeline and they're uncertain. They don't know what to do. They're trying to figure it out. They're trying to go wherever you are and get information that they can use, but they're just gonna, they're not gonna, it's not gonna work. They should know that by now. We've got the teamwork here is strength reverse, low energy. They have tired in the shadows, low energy, holding back. They're being held back. You're holding back. You don't want to have anything to do with them. They're grieving because you're holding back. Look, they thought you were amusing. They thought it was real fun and funny to hurt you. It was entertainment. It was entertainment. And you're not going to support them anymore. You're not supporting them. And everything's falling away to make room for the love that you deserve. That's just crap, man. They're upset because you gained a whole bunch of skill development when it came to your temperance energy. And they're having disagreement. They can't use you as an exit plan. And they're desperate. They're in a bind. They don't have anybody else to reach out to. But they never wanted you. They left you alone here. After sexing you up, they left you alone. The truth is here, they were playing at love with negative intentions. You're the star. You're shining a light on this. They were laughing, thinking it was funny. Struggling. You're not going to struggle with that. You're not supporting these people anymore. You're not going to do it. And everything you don't need is falling away to make room for the love that you deserve. Eventually, you're going to be able to meet somebody who isn't going to do that. Look, they were a bunch of liars. And they're still out here lying. You're shining a light on it. You're shining a light as the Hermit on those who thought it was funny to sex you up and then leave you in solitary confinement with nothing. You're not supporting them anymore. They're falling away because they're a bunch of liars. Look, the apology is even a lie. It's not honest. It's not an honest apology. They just got themselves messed up and now they want to get something off their chest and reconnect. They laughed at love. They laughed at love. They just need your support. They need a loan. But you're uninterested in this. You don't need their advice. They might be trying to get advice on how to get a date with you. People are fighting. These people who were manipulating the perception of reality regarding you. They're yelling. They're mad. They're unhappy. They're super mad. Yeah, they need advice on how to get a safe space. They need a safe space. People are talking in the grapevine about the way that they worked to trick you. They have ill intentions. Wow. They may even have a growth. Or they were dishonest about their growth. They were masquerading themselves as somebody who did the work, but they were just siphoning your energy and your happiness, pretending that it was theirs. They were bragging about it. Bragging. Now they want to check in, this envious person, pretending to be positive because they need a big favor. But this is an imposter. Yeah, it's an imposter, an infiltrator. So yeah, that's just a big bad no. Big bad no, big bad no. I'm going to go ahead and leave this one here. And I will see you on the next one, everybody. Bye.